Hey, you can sip your coffee. Okay, this is Melissa Johnson again with Homestar Realty, and this is your real estate minute. I have with me as a special guest today, Mr. William Andrews with Unlimited Realty here in Montgomery, Alabama. And we just talk candidly, people talk about my channel. We just talk about things going on in real estate in our market, what we're experiencing in our market. And as realtors, both of us have been in the business a long, long time, over 20, we got over 50 years of experience together. Yep. So, hey, we've seen it all. So we're just gonna talk about it and share our opinions with folks. And these are strictly our opinions. That's my disclaimer. Ain't no trying to go to jail and get sued. Okay, here we go. William, hello. Tell me, you know what I'm experiencing. Tell me, everybody said these millennials. What are the millennials and what age group are they running in? And what do you find that's different from your traditional buyer or seller?
You know, they always in a hurry. They think everything is supposed to work right now.
Yes.
And it don't work like that. You know, they're fast mode. And
yeah. And that's what I experienced. So you know what? They and you're right. You're absolutely right. They're in that fast road. They want money fast. And they think they know everything. They know everything about
all kinds of stuff.
And then to see, you know what? And the thing about, I think the internet has managed them so that they don't know how to think. They don't even think. If the internet didn't say it, it's not true. So what we're finding is, you know, the internet are teaching the children, they're teaching the college students, you know. So if you got sense enough to put something out there on the web, they're gonna swear it's the truth.
Yeah, they're not getting properly trained. You know, back in the day, we had to come in, sit in class, write chalk stuff down, take homework home, because they don't do that now.
They don't have books. So and then we're in a real volatile market right now. And I feel it's slowing down a little bit. I think it's been slow. I feel it's slowing down a little.
Yes.
However, working with buyers can be challenging. What are some of the challenges you face when this market picked up after COVID?
Well, you know, the interest rate is starting to fluctuate upward. So the house that they thought they could get now, they can't get because the payment is high.
Right.
So you know, when it first started, like 3.25%, now it's at almost 6%. So that 200,000 house that they could get, now they only can get like 150, 125. So the dilemma is every house that hit the market is going to have 5-6 contracts. So.
Right. And another thing too, I think they don't understand is like when you find a house that you want, this could knock you out as well. Okay, say you qualify for $100,000 house. And you need a little help with some closing costs, because traditionally, that's how we sold houses. You ask for a little closing costs. The seller, if he's able to give you that as a gift, because these are your closing costs. Like I tell people, these are your closing costs. It's not the seller's. So if our negotiation gets you some of that money paid, then we've done a great job as your realtor. Okay. So nowadays, they're not even offering closing costs. So if your buyer needs help, he can't get the house he wants, even though he can afford it. He has been pre-approved, but because of the market, sellers aren't able to give you any closing costs. So you're going to have that money that you normally wouldn't have to pay. You're going to have it, because that's going to differentiate you from getting the house and not getting the house. If you got a buyer that asking for a lot of closing costs, they're not going to get it. Because you got one, because it's all about the seller's bottom line. So if you got somebody who's not offering, who has money for closing, I say, I don't want them to help me pay my closing costs. I got my money, I'm ready. I got the closing costs, I got down payment, I got everything. I want this house. That looks better for the seller's bottom line. Whose contract you think they're gonna take?
You know, and right now, sellers, if you're not paying the closing costs as a buyer, you're gonna lose the contract. Because you got a buyer coming in and say, hey, I take the contract, you don't have to pay closing costs. That's going to excite the seller. So he's going to say, I take this contract.
Because that gives me $4,000 or $5,000 in my pocket, depending on the price of the house, that I don't even have to, I can keep in my pocket. So I tell everybody, when you think you're ready, you come ready. You come ready with your closing costs. You save money towards your closing costs. When you get ready to buy a house, you have that much money I'm able to tell you approximately how much it's gonna cost to close the cost. Some of people is like, I gotta have that much of a house. Well, you know what, years ago, I remember when it was 10% interest rate was a good interest rate,
Yeah. I was in
and you had to have 20% down to buy a house. So it has gotten simpler over the years, but right now I'm seeing it trending toward the way it used to be. So if you're able to buy now, you need to jump on in it. As like I said, you can always refinance your house, but get in on it. You can refinance it later, but you need to get in on it now.
Melissa. And when people, a lot of these people are getting that 203K money,
Right.
201K.
Explain what that is, we in case people don't know.
That's if you've gotten a job, if you got a job and you've been putting in it for years, and the job has a stack of money there for you. It's really your retirement.
Right. 401, well, your 401K.
I said 201, it's 401. Well, what goes on there, when they go get that money, they just get enough to buy the house, but you got to get enough to cover closing costs and your prepaids there, because that's the only way you're gonna get the house.
And a good thing too now about those savings plans like that, some savings plans, you have to check your own with your employer. Some savings plans allow you to get the money for a down payment on the house and you don't have to pay it back. So, sometimes when you withdraw money prematurely, you have to pay that money back out of your paycheck a little bit at a time or whatever. This is pre-tax. But if you're buying a house, some plans are lenient where you can buy a house and they don't penalize you. But if you're over 60 years old, some plans might allow you to start withdrawing from your 401k and you don't have to pay the money back. So if you're in that bracket, it behooves you to get a lot, get your down payment and your closing costs, because you don't have to pay the penalties. You don't have to pay it back. You just withdraw it and that's it. It's no loan. So right. Like William said, if you're able to get both of them, get the closing costs and your down payment from your 401k.
Yeah, that's important.
Okay. Getting frustrations from your buyers, William, when they can't get
from the buyers.
Yes.
Frustrations are many.
Yes. I'm like in this market here in 2022.
Right now, it's like if the house is 150, our people write a contract for 160. Pretty sure they're gonna get it. I say, look, do about 7% more. Well, we got 6 contracts on it, and I said, I think we might have it. Then someone will come in with cash.
That has happened to me all summer long. We hadn't even got to the summer months. That has happened to me over and over again. To my buyers are frustrated, saying, well, I just don't want to buy a house. Well, I can't get a house. And they look at me and say, I don't control that. If I'm not selling the house, we can't control that. That's the environment we're in. And COVID created that environment. It's like the houses are going out of style, but like you better hurry up and get it. You better hurry up and get it. But you can't control that. And so like I said, they pay $10,000 over the escrow because they can't afford it, because the loan can go up like that. But you also have to tell your client, if your payment, if you can't afford this payment and this extra $10,000 getting ready to put on you, don't do it. Because this is what your payment gonna be. Instead of your loan being $100,000, it's $110,000 now. And your payment gonna go up a little bit, but you need to be prepared. So now I've seen people go as much as $20,000 over the asking price and still did not get the house. $20,000 over the asking price, no closing costs, and the cash, like you said, cash buyer come in and swoop it up, and it's gone. Yeah,
cash buyers win every time, hands down, and there's nothing you can do about it. But it's great for them. I mean, I got applaud them.
Yeah, if you got it and you can do it like that, do it.
It's wrong, yeah.
So
it's killing us. It's killing us.
It is, because we as realtors, we just run around town. We just try to everything. And you wake up hitting the MLS, looking to see what has come available for your client. You wake up looking, okay, let me go try to get this. Let me go try to schedule. And showing time is great. It's a tool we have to schedule housing, because you can see actually how many people have scheduled to see that house. I got a client that can't see the house till in the evening time, like 6:30 after work. And she get beat out every time, because by the time she sees the house, it's already got a contract on it.
Yeah.
Accepted offer, contract.
I'm gonna give you a problem that I constantly run into, and it's annoying. I've pulled everything in the price range for the client. Then I go out there and say, hey, I got 3 on here. I got 3 on my list. I say, what do you mean? Well, I looked on Zillow and they got 300. And I say, look, honey, Zillow get their information from us.
Afterwards, it's not live. Afterwards.
And then on top of that, when that house sells, they don't go and update their information.
No,
so the house is
it's not automatic. So you won't see it.
Yeah. If it's not on our site, y'all, it ain't available.
That's what I tell them. I tell them all the time. I say, and that's why I use our tools in our MLS where we can send it to them automatically. And I send them houses every morning, and it's as soon as possible. Meaning, as soon as it hit the market, you will get an email. Now it's up to you to go out there and look every day, because I might be out showing houses to other clients or doing something else, and I can't be all accessible to sit there and look at MLS all day watching the houses come on the market.
Yeah.
If you see it, I tell my guys, you see it first, you shoot it to me. Say, Melissa, this just came up. Let's go. And I said, okay, let's go, because we're not always in pocket, for you to just tell us we got to go look at a house right then. We ain't serving other customers. So
we don't one body.
One body. We can't be all their places at one time. But what we can do, when you see it, we can go try to get a schedule as quick as we can. In fact, I've even written contracts sight unseen because of the online. And I said, "You sure you want to do this?" And they say yes, but because they want they want a house.
Yeah.
And to the point now they're like, "I want I just want a house. Why my loan is good, and I don't have to reapply. I just want a house right now." And then they come back, "You gonna get it?" No, I said, "This is what you're gonna do. No closing costs. Do you have your own closing costs?" They said yes. I said, "Okay, then you got your down payment?" "Yes, ma'am." I said, "Okay, then well, let's do it. Let's go offer this." And then another risk you take when you offer a house that's over the price, the listing price, will it appraise? Talk to me about that, please.
Yeah, because see, a lot of these people, if it's not going to be cash, now if it's cash, you're good because you don't need an appraisal.
Right.
But if you get in the house and you don't offer. The only thing about it, if the house is 150, you offer 160, but the agent knows the area is only selling for 150. Well,
absolutely.
Think about it. They're going to ask you when it appraises. And if it doesn't appraise for the 160, will you pay the gap? Now, you saying, no, yeah, I'll pay the gap. When that 160 hit 150, the mortgage company is only going to give you 150.
Right.
You come out of pocket for that $10,000.
Absolutely. Unless you qualify, like I had a client that qualified for way more than the house they bought. So they could go up a little bit more. They were okay with it. And what I had them do was I asked the other agent, can you split the cost? Can you split? It was like came in like $8,000 on the listing price. So they paid for, my clients paid for, everybody was happy. You got a little bit more money. I paid a little bit more, but it's not our budget. I can afford this house. No, it's not extravagant. So we both happy. It's in the neighborhood they want to be in, and they had the money to do that. But everybody's not able.
Yep, and that's a rare moment, but it's a good moment if you can get one like that.
Yeah.
But usually, I the last one I sold, it appraised for. It was 120. It was 225, and it appraised for. We offered 285.
Wow.
And it appraised for 285. I was like, what? And I think there's a lot of things going on with that. But,
yes, because I've had one that didn't appraise for that much. So I tell my customers, if it doesn't appraise for that, they have to come down on the price or sell it. They're gonna have to come down, especially if you're in that price range where you can't go over what you're asking, with your max that you can ask for, that you can pay. Then they have no choice unless they move on to another. See what thing, right? If you're the seller and you move on, you either gonna come down or you're gonna risk losing the sale because it's not. You already know now what it appraised for and what are the chances are that you're gonna get appraisal to come up that high.
Yeah,
and like I tell you, and when you represent the seller, when you're the seller's agent, sometimes it's difficult for us to convince because the market is hot. And they're in their mind thinking I can get way more than what my house is worth now. The time is to sell now. That's what they're hearing. So their house is worth $250,000, and you say, and you get the comps, you get the listing, you tell them it's worth about $253. This is what I think you should list it for. I said, no, I want $275. what do? Listen, and you tell them, Mr. Seller, you can only get 263, 253 or whatever. It's not 275. The market doesn't say 275. And now it sits on the market longer than expected. Could have been sold a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because you are the expert. I am the expert. We tell you, and we try to tell them. I use the same tools that appraisers use to price this house. So I told you, you're not going to get that. Now it's on the market 2 months when everybody else's house is selling just like that.
You got too many
still on the market. That's why.
Yeah, you got too many people in their ears. Well, my house sold in one day, and we got this. See, every house is different, and location has a lot to do with it.
Location.
A lot of variance.
A lot of variance.
So people just don't understand. You can't listen to them and then listen to the professional. Yeah. Which one are you going to listen to?
Because really, I had a client that had 2 other people that sold houses around them for the same amount of money, but they were in different states, high states, where you could get that for smaller houses. I think HGTV, it's sort of in those housing shows sort of get in the minds too. Because I tell them, these people in California, they can afford to sell the house for $100,000 less. And sometimes you get people tell me, well, I had one for somebody a long time ago. I swear I'll never forget this. I went to this house, had to listen for a man. No, I had a buyer. And she whispered, the sister whispered in her ear, you need to offer, and this before they started doing 10,000, you need to offer $10,000 less. I said, where you do that at? We don't do that in Montgomery. California, maybe. Florida, maybe. Texas, maybe. People, they pay a lot for smaller houses. Not in Montgomery. She whispered to me, you need to, I didn't get that sale either. And she dropped me as a realtor, and I told her I was glad to be dropped because that's not going to happen. And she bought a house. I followed her because we could tell when you buy houses from other folks. And she didn't buy that house for no $10,000 less. I don't know where you get that from or where you came from, but in Montgomery, we don't do that.
You don't do it. And different states are different.
States are different.
When you're in the South, California, this is a whole different market. Florida is a whole different market.
Florida is a whole different market.
Absolutely. So you got to be mindset of where you live and what they're doing here.
And see, we are so comfortable around here because we got the cheapest taxes in the whole state.
United States.
You can't compare this market to Huntsville. Huntsville is booming. They're now the number one, the largest city
in the nation.
Alabama now.
Huntsville is the number one city in the nation.
Yeah, everybody wants to go to Huntsville.
It's beautiful.
The economy is wonderful. The schools are definitely wonderful. The colleges there are wonderful.
And the Space Center.
You got the Space Center, you got technology. It's the technology hub of Alabama. It's like going to California with all the apples and all that. We're the technology hub. So
I'm so proud of the fact that Huntsville is the number one city in the United States. I'm so proud of that.
Yeah. They have a lot going on.
Yeah, they do.
The market is such. I got relatives who are looking for houses there, and they're in the same situation. Can't get a house, interest rates going up, people snatching it from you when you think you got it. Same situation. So you're gonna have to make a choice. You either go over the asking price or you wait. I don't know what you wait till you think something's gonna go down and it's not. Everything going up. Interest rate going up, gas going up.
That's the key, interest rate. So people need to get off the fence right now. If you thought about buying a house, you better do it now.
Right, this is the time. This is the time to buy.
It won't get no better. Now
it get no better.
It's gradually changing from a seller's market. It's almost stabilized.
Right.
The interest rate get up there. The house that you want, you can't get now.
You're not gonna be able to afford it. You're not gonna want to.
You can't afford it.
I can, but you won't want to. Let's put it like that.
I want it, but that's beer and that's wine.
Yeah.
So which one you want? Beer or wine?
Well, William, I enjoyed this talking to you today. We have some favorite information, and I am so glad. You and I probably need to do this about once a month.
Let's do it.
What's going
on? If y'all like it out there, let us know.
Okay.
I'll be glad to do it, man. Appreciate you.
All right, dog. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.